and welcome to the Ignorance Project. Today, I'm really excited about having a discussion that a lot of people have actually reached out to me about, which is small business development, I should say. And I've got a representative today from the Small Business Administration. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I am Diedra Henry-Spires, Senior Advisor to Administrator Guzman at the Small Business Administration.
Thank you. So before we kick off, I have to say, I didn't say it to you earlier, but my full face today is the lip bar,
Mhm.
really as an ode to this conversation, right? Because I know that's a small business that you guys have worked with in the past. So I wanted to wear it to kind of kick off this discussion and also just kind of pay tribute to a small business that I support, a Black business I support that I'm completely obsessed with.
You should be the Lip
Thank you.
Bar, Melissa Butler, Sarah from Spanx,
Mm,
Priya from formerly what was ClassPass,
mhm.
and a wonderful smaller business that we don't know yet, but we will know her name, Natalie out of Detroit, who opened a um, charging station building a business. They were
Wow.
all featured, I think, 2 years ago at
Yeah.
our Women's Business Summit. So we are all about promoting small business. Your
Hmm.
face looks fabulous,
Thank you.
as it could. If you're wearing the part, it has to look fabulous, and
Thank
it
you.
does. So wonderful.
Yes, awesome. All right, so to kick it off, can I ask you what are some of the responsibilities that you have within the Small Business Administration?
Yeah, and really what it says as a senior advisor, you are there to advise, inform, um, and assist the administrator in carrying out her duties.
Hmm.
We are the SBA,
Right.
represents the 33 million small businesses in the United States of America. And
Hmm.
what the administrator, her name is Isabel Casillas Guzman. She's the 27th administrator of
Right.
the Small Business Administration. It is a cabinet level agency. And so
Okay.
she sits on the president's cabinet. She meets with him, talks with him.
Mm.
And really, it was an acknowledgement by particularly Biden Harris that this is a that small businesses are the engine of the economy. We used to
Absolutely.
say that like as
Yeah.
it's a cute saying. It's
Hmm.
lovely to say. You're important too. COVID taught
Yeah.
us that
Yeah.
it is a truism. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a pithy saying. It is
Mm-hmm.
100% true. Small businesses really are the engine of our economy, and small businesses are experiencing a boom right now.
Right.
More people are filling out and filing for small business applications.
Hmm.
Shereen, let me share with you. I always, I always put it in the context of Biden Harris because I am a Biden
Right.
Harris appointee. But in
Right.
this time period, this 3 years, 17, we used to say 17.2. That
Hmm.
was just like a couple of months ago. Now it's 17.5 new 17.5 million new
Wow.
business applications have been filed. So we're always in this cycle of
Hmm.
birthing businesses, some
Hmm.
businesses failing. We don't like that. Businesses growing and expanding. It's
Right.
always this cycle. When I started here, the fact was that there were
Hmm.
32 million small businesses in the
32.
United
Wow.
States that the administrator was um, really feeling stewardship for,
Hmm.
and that she felt that she was their representative in those
Hmm.
cabinet meetings. Now there are 33 million of those small
That's
businesses that she
amazing.
feels stewardship for and that
Yeah.
she is representing in those cabinet
Right.
meetings.
And I think the really cool thing about being an American citizen is really being able to have that opportunity to fulfill this American dream. And
Ooh.
I'm realizing a lot of people don't know about the assistance that's there that the government provides for small businesses. So, in preparation for this conversation, because surprisingly, I didn't realize how many small business owners I knew until I started thinking about questions for this conversation that we're having right now. And I'm like, wow, I actually have a lot of people in my circle that own small businesses that are pretty successful that still don't fully understand that there is assistance for them, right? So, one of the questions I want to ask is I see so many resources on the website for the Small Business Administration where people can go and even have conversations about this is the idea that I have and
Yes.
how do I kick it off? So, can we talk a little bit about that, about like the process someone would go through if they have an idea to getting government
Mm.
financial assistance?
Sure. I love that. And, entrepreneurship really is the
Mhm.
backbone of this country.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is the fastest way out of poverty.
Mm.
It's not the only way, but it's literally the fastest way.
So would like owning real estate be considered a form of entrepreneurship too? Because I
Absolutely.
know that's something a lot of people in the Black community do when it comes to like developing their wealth.
Absolutely, particularly if you turn it into
Mm.
a real estate business where
Oh, okay.
you are buying and selling
Right.
and working the business or
Mhm.
owning and renting.
Mhm.
There are so many businesses um, that folks think it's just what I do on the side when
Yeah.
actually you have tax obligations, you have all the things that go along with the business.
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
might as well understand yourself and um, and elevate your understanding of what you're doing because you
Right.
are a business owner.
Mhm.
Um, so a couple of things,
Mhm.
development of a business. We have
Right.
resource partners
Okay.
at the SBA.
Mhm.
We have about three missions, really, if you boil it down: training to
Mhm.
help you know how to grow your business, how to start and grow a business, training. Access to capital is a big.
Mhm.
Once you have created a business, sometimes that growth and expansion, you can't do it off profits. You need some capital infusion to sort
Right.
of take you to the next level.
Right.
That's usually loans and those types of things.
Okay.
And then I'd say a third big bucket of what we do is
Mhm.
the government. The federal government is one of the largest spenders. To
Mm.
be able to contract with the federal government as
Right.
a small business owner,
Mhm.
it is business changing because we buy a lot of goods and services. And so
Right.
there are lots of small business owners that want to sell goods and services to one
Mhm.
of the largest buyers in the country, which
Mhm.
is the country, the government.
Mhm.
And so government contracting. But there's a ton more that we do. We work with investors, we work
Right.
with researchers,
Right.
we have all these products. Very finitely to your question,
Mhm.
I want to start a business. One
Mhm.
of the first things I would tell you to do is go to sba.gov
Mhm.
backslash locate
Okay.
and find our locator. You simply put your zip code
Mhm.
in a little box,
Mhm.
push enter, and it will tell you within the miles, the parameters you have used,
Right.
where all the SBA resources are
Are you
around.
kidding me?
Not, it's really,
Wow.
you can get caught up in our website.
Yeah, I have to say, in just scrolling the website as someone that works on websites, I was pretty impressed with how easy it was to navigate, especially because so many government sites are very difficult to navigate. So kudos to you guys for that.
I will make sure to tell the administrators that you said so. I will tell our
Yeah.
IT team, our
Mhm.
technology team. They
Thank
are
you.
really wanting to use tech to reach people,
Mm,
and we're not
mhm.
done. We
Right.
have a project called My SBA
Hmm.
where we're trying to pull all our products,
Mhm.
everything a person would need to know,
Mhm.
into a My SBA portal, which
Right.
will help you navigate the resources, funding resources, and other things of the SBA
That's
and be a
amazing.
link for you that
Yeah.
if you have products from us or if you have something, you have this sort of one stop shop place to go to
Mhm.
find what you need to find. We
Mhm.
really are committed to making it easy.
That's great. And I know we talked about like if I'm starting a business and I don't really know where to start, I go to the site, I put in my zip code, and I'm able to connect with someone in my area, right? So, are there specific businesses that should be looking into something like this, or are there businesses that don't fall under it? Like, there's so many different types of businesses. one of the things that came up as I was asking people, like, what would you want me to ask someone, a representative from this organization? A lot of the commentary I got was, I don't know if my business would fall under their purview, right? So let me just start there. Are there specific businesses you guys look for?
There are not. There are no
Oh, okay.
um, real barriers to entry.
Mhm.
We don't do a lot with like sexually prurient businesses
Right.
or, things in that category that the
Hmm.
government just wouldn't be involved with.
Right, right.
Um, However, if you are small, fewer than um, I wanted to say fewer than 500 employees. I will
Right.
double check. But if you are certainly less than 100 employees,
Mhm.
most small businesses are sole proprietorships.
Mm,
Most small businesses are family owned moms and pops, one
mhm.
to two. We love working with the smallest of the small, which is
Right.
under 50 employees, but
Okay.
really we work with 1 to 10 employees.
Right.
Most often, we work with folks who are on the verge of
Mhm.
like stepping into the world of big business. Think about it. Most corporations or big businesses
Mhm.
started as small businesses.
That's a
One of
good
the other
point.
women that we featured a couple of years ago,
Mhm.
not plugging anything, but was Jenny from Jenny's Ice Cream.
Oh, wow. I've heard
She
great
said,
things.
yeah, she
Yeah.
said that we did a panel with her and
Mhm.
some other women entrepreneurs that were groundbreaking in the
Mm,
aerospace industry. Women like Cleo Barger, an African
right.
American woman who started a business with um, a white woman.
Mhm.
They joined together and they faced racism and sexism together
Mm,
in the aerospace industry
right.
and grew a business called Mid States to be one of the largest suppliers of like airplane parts multinationally. Cleo
Wow.
eventually bought her partner out
Yeah.
and ran the business.
Yeah.
So, what Jenny said was her grandmother told her she could do anything she wanted to do.
Mhm.
And she said, "Oh, I love ice cream. I want to make ice
Oh
cream."
my,
As a
I
little
love
girl,
that.
she had that
Yeah.
clarity of mind.
Yeah.
Um, but she started also with, I think, $40,000 of capital.
Mhm.
Yeah. She
Wow.
expanded her business with an SBA loan.
Okay. So as people are looking into, say I'm applying for a loan like this, right? What are the question, or I should say this, what would put my application at the top? What would make you guys the most interested in funding my business specifically, right?
Your viewership and listenership has a great advocate in you. You're like, how do we go to the top of the pile? I,
Yeah.
so, how to get through the process.
Mhm.
First of all, SBA is not your lender. We do
Right.
not do direct lending.
Right.
You can't walk into the office, talk to somebody at our
Hmm.
headquarters and get money. It doesn't work that way. We guarantee small
Hmm.
business loans.
Hmm.
A lot we guarantee at about 80%, which
Hmm.
means less risk for the bank.
Right.
So we're guaranteeing 80% of your 100% of loans. So that means
Okay.
they're only at risk for about 20%, which makes lending to you already
Hmm.
safer and more attractive.
Got it.
But there are banks, as a lot of people learned during COVID,
Hmm.
have requirements.
Hmm.
Now, we also learned that we have to continue to work with our banking industry so
Mm,
that they understand how to work with all people,
mhm,
so that there's equity across the board.
mhm,
Because a lot of Black and Brown people found that places, institutions with whom they had banked for years were saying, we don't have a relationship with you. But you're
mm.
like, I cashed my check. You have my money.
That's
How do you not?
yeah.
I don't have tea with the
Right,
bank manager, but
right.
is that what it takes? In some ways, it can be.
Mhm,
However, there are also community development financial institutions, CDFIs,
mhm,
that have products. One in particular called Community Advantage, which
mhm.
was a pilot. This administrator said, we've been piloting that program for 10 years. It
Wow.
is no longer a pilot. Let's make it a permanent program so that small businesses can have access to capital in
Mm-hmm.
the communities that know
Mm-hmm.
them and
Mm-hmm.
understand them. So there are different types of institutions that
Right.
lend SBA products.
Right.
Directly to your question, Shireen, because I know I won't get out of here without answering it directly.
I was thinking, how can I rephrase this? Let me stop.
No, 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 no. I got you. I
Yeah.
just wanted to give that as background.
Right,
Aware.
right.
But what
Absolutely.
you need, you're still going to need 36 months of tax history.
Okay.
You're still going to need a credit score.
Right.
700 would be lovely.
Oh, that
Some
okay.
community lenders are
Yeah.
like, they can take there's conversations around credit scores, but just
Mm-hmm.
in broad, big, general sense, 700 would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding the difference between your business and you, but at the same time, understanding you are your business.
Right.
So you need to be together and the business needs to be together. So a lot of those resource partners we talked about earlier can
Mm-hmm.
help you get credit ready,
That's amazing. Okay.
capital ready,
Right.
ready to get a loan.
Mm-hmm.
Really look at you specifically and help you work through. What I want people to be, though, is not afraid.
Right.
The same way you rehabilitate your personal assets and your personal credit, one
Right.
debt at a time, one step at a time, and all of a sudden that score is going up and you
Mm-hmm.
are looking good and you didn't think you could. And it doesn't take really that long. It just takes
Mm-hmm.
an understanding of what moves the needle. There
Right.
are people, that's why those resource partners are so important that can
Mm-hmm.
help you get capital ready.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're ready, have the background paperwork together.
Right.
Then you can present yourself to a lending institution saying, here are
Ah,
my documents.
I know all my ducks are
SBA
in a
has,
row. Yep.
yes, this is
I
the
love
kind of
that.
loan I think I'm ready for. Go on that
Yeah.
website, study our product
Mm-hmm.
7A,
Mm-hmm.
504.
Mm-hmm.
Microloans. We have microloans, which most small businesses need. And
Right.
those are given by nonprofit community organizations. So those CDFIs I talked about, and
Right.
those are like up to $10,000, like the amount that you kind of need to buy supplies and
Mm-hmm.
get started. That is an excellent way to sort of dip your toe in the
Mm-hmm.
capital world, know
Right.
that it's something you can manage and pay back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the next one and you can kind of graduate yourself.
That's really helpful. And I would imagine you'd be able to use funding like that for like education for yourself and for people in your business to kind of further what you want to do with your business too, right?
You have to be careful and just have that
Um,
conversation like, what
okay.
can I use this for? Are
Right.
training expenses
Right. Got it.
allowed?
Yeah.
What is allowed on this type of money?
Mm-hmm.
And community resources are a great place to
Mm-hmm.
start.
Got it.
And in your community, like I said, we have Women's Business Center, we have Veterans
Mm-hmm.
Business Centers, we
Mm-hmm.
have America's Small Business Development Centers,
Mm-hmm.
SBDCs, SCORE chapter, retired business people
Right.
there to help you and talk you through what they've already been through successfully. It's
Right.
amazing.
And are there specific businesses that you guys are looking to assist right now?
I think more than looking to assist, because we'll meet any business wherever they are. If
Right.
you sell widgets, we're excited about widgets.
Yeah.
If you are in the fashion industry, we're excited
Mm-hmm.
about you. But there are a couple that I think are sort of on the brink right now with
Mm-hmm.
all this generative AI. There
Mm-hmm.
are service industry jobs that really helping people understand how to maximize
Mm-hmm.
that potential is really exciting. The
Right.
tech industry, is just blowing up from
Booming.
Afrotech to this to
Mm-hmm.
that. It is hot right now. But
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure is another big deal.
Okay.
We have all this infrastructure money due to legislation that's been passed and signed into law by this president that's going to
Mm-hmm.
rebuild our roads and our bridges. The
Mm-hmm.
tragedy here in the state in which I live, which is Maryland, of the Key Bridge, that bridge
Yeah.
has to be rebuilt.
Right.
And there's work for small businesses to do. There were
Mhm.
trucking businesses that were really helping our supply chain that
Mhm.
used the Key Bridge. So we care about your trucking business.
Right.
The CHIPS Act that was signed into law by this president that
Mhm.
says we need to build our own chips. We need to build our own technology
Right.
infrastructure.
Right.
But one in particular that I don't think people um, have keyed into yet, and I'd love your viewership and listenership to be ahead of the curve.
Right.
All of this is undergirded by the childcare infrastructure.
Really?
Remember during COVID, and we talked about all these lessons. So my first job at SBA, Shireen, was
Yeah.
senior advisor for COVID programs
Okay.
in the heat of the pandemic,
Right.
when things were still shuttered,
Right.
when we were all wearing masks, how quickly we forget when
Mm.
businesses were locked down, when
Mhm.
that's when we really got this message. Remember frontline workers, your post office, the postal workers, your doctors and
Mhm.
nurses.
Mhm.
But the first ones, or the ones that never really got to shut down, were
Yeah.
childcare providers. We needed childcare so that those folks I just named could
Ha-
go to work,
I never thought about that, but
and they could
excellent
go
point.
when people said go back to work, folks said I can't, I don't have childcare.
Yeah.
So then Biden Harris invested all this money into
Mm.
childcare so that people could reopen childcare
Mhm.
businesses. And
Mhm.
guess what we found out? We still don't have enough slots.
Wow.
So this care economy, from birth to wise old elder citizenship, there is a real care economy out
Right.
there, and it is part of the infrastructure
Mhm.
of our country. And I love it. My boss talks about it
Yeah.
as part of the infrastructure. So childcare businesses, big right now. That is, if you feel that that is your ministry, some of
Mhm.
what we've been trying to get folks that work mission driven businesses, like,
Right.
I love the children. I want to protect children. I want to help children develop because
Mhm.
we need a developed, well educated workforce
Mhm.
of the future. It is still a business.
Wow.
You still have to file taxes and do
Right.
different things,
Right.
but we can help you
Hmm.
be able to, um, you know, expand your home-based business.
Mhm.
Licensing requirements may say change your property this way. SBA low interest
Yeah.
backed products can
Yeah.
help you do that, or go from home-based to center-based, or expand a center, or
Mhm.
start a childcare business. We
Mhm.
have some funding right now. I'll plug this. We have funding right now on the street in
Right.
what's called a notice of funding opportunity. It can be found in the Federal Register, and if anything,
Okay.
maybe I'll drop it to you, Shireen, so you can
Yeah,
share
that'd
it.
be great.
And it is to develop women's business centers that specialize in
Mm.
childcare businesses.
Really?
Yes. So, really, for institutions, universities, we have several women's business centers at HBCUs,
Mm.
universities, community centers, those that think
Mhm.
that they could house a center that
Mhm.
has the expertise to
Right.
help create and craft childcare businesses and help childcare business owners have a
Yeah.
place to stop in
Yeah.
and reap the benefits of wisdom. Like, this is what you need to do to get licensed. This is
Mhm.
what this regulation says.
Mhm.
This is the kind of training. This is the type of loan that could help you. This
Right.
is what you, we have a NOFO out on the street right now to
Huh.
fund that kind of work. We also have it to fund in the space of government contracting. If you think you
Mhm.
could run a center that really helps women understand how to get
Mhm.
into government contracting, how to get certified to be a
Really?
women-owned small business, that NOFO's there. And want
Okay.
to do this work virtually. So we
Right.
really are trying to build out the help and support that we
Mhm.
give to this kind of work.
Hmm. Well, this
We
has
just scratched the
been
surface, Sheree.
that's what I was just thinking. I know we're out of time, but this information has been so beneficial. I can't wait to share it with my audience, and it sounds like we might need to do a follow-up.
I'm here for it. I am
Fine.
100% here for it. There is so much. This
Yeah.
is your government, your tax dollars. Pay
Yeah.
for it. It can't be a secret to you.
Mm-mm. Well,
No.
thank you so much. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you leave enlightened, and I look forward to continuing this conversation in the future.